Hello and welcome to Stuff Every Queer Kid Should Know. I'm Max Emerson, a writer and performer leveraging social media to create independent narratives. Similar to my other endeavors, this podcast is designed to provide vital resources, role models, and tools that enhance your well-being, foster connections, and support personal growth from late adolescence onwards. Welcome back to another episode. Today's guest is Joey Graceffa. Today we're going to talk about dogs and clout, two of my favorite subjects.
Same.
Joey Graceffa is a YouTuber, vlogger, and author who's taken the internet by storm with his fun and engaging content, racking up over 2.9 billion views across his channels. Joey kicked off his YouTube journey in 2007 and has since become a go-to for vlogs, gaming, and his awesome web series, Escape the Night. My first encounter with you was actually years ago at the Escape the Night Escape room opening. That was super lit. Thank you for that invite. You probably had no idea I was there.
No idea. Oh. Yeah.
The PR sent you a list of who was going to show up?
No, I mean, I know who you are because you were there and I met you. So I remember meeting you.
I feel like whenever someone has an event like that where I'm like a central player, I don't remember any of it. So I don't expect anyone else to. Mm-hmm. Just go into a fugue state, smile.
It's a lot to host and like talk to everybody and like manage everything. Like it makes sense.
Proudly gay. He's all about LGBTQ plus representation and shares his story in his memoir, In Real Life, and the Children of Eden book series. When he's not entertaining fans online, you can find him advocating for mental health and getting dogs adopted.
Oh, speaking of dogs.
Sarge is a fan.
Said, what?
You can hear Sarge barking from the garage right now. Thank you so much for being part of my new podcast. I really am honored that you're here.
Yeah, congratulations. This is awesome.
I have prepared a rapid-fire series of questions for this audience to get to know you better.
All right. Yeah.
Called Who the Hell Are You?
Okay, nice.
Ready?
I think so.
Name? What is your name?
Have you seen those videos where it's like, name a woman, name a woman, name a woman? I'm like, what's my name? Joey.
Awesome. Zodiac sign?
Taurus.
What are you an expert in?
Probably dog birth at this point. I know, random.
How do you identify on the gender and sexuality spectrum? Same. Most favorite animal?
Dogs.
Least favorite animal?
Ooh, hairless cats.
That's valid.
Yeah.
Last thing you ate?
Eggs this morning.
How many caffeinated beverages do you drink per day?
I get really shaky. This is rapid fire. Okay, just one. I have to give an explanation.
Yep. Caffeinated beverage of choice?
Coffee.
Biggest pet peeve?
When people say, do you understand what I'm saying? Because it makes me feel like they think I'm dumb or something.
Your dream vacation destination?
Okinawa.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Favorite sport or game?
Any video games.
What is your favorite thing about queer bars?
Queer bars? Probably the go-go dancers. I don't know.
Legit. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being a virtual hellscape and 10 being a blessed utopia, how are things looking for queer people in America right now?
I think we're fine. I think we're
what
gonna
number is fine?
Oh, on a scale of 1 to 10? I would say we're like 10 is 10 is good.
10 is great.
Oh, okay. I'd say we're like at a 7.
Okay. In Los Angeles, at least.
Yeah.
What was the last item you misplaced?
Last item? Well, I don't know because I misplaced it. So it's
damn. Next question was
forever.
Where was it? Everyone else has found their item. You're the first person who hasn't recovered their item. What was the last thing you were super mad about?
Probably a production call for a project that I'm working on right now. Yeah. A little vague, but
it's this one.
Yes.
What is the last thing that made you cry?
Probably also a production call.
What is the location of the worst date you've ever had?
Ooh. I've been on quite a few in London that did not go over so well.
So London, across the board?
Normally I have great ones there, but I did have one bad one.
Okay. Is that where most of your dates happen? You go to London for the dating?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. It's a very inconvenient time zone, but you're a very busy person, so I understand how that works. Hair products have come a long way. You can get real results with a solution that's both effective and leaves your hair and scalp looking healthier than ever. I'm talking about Scandinavian Bio Labs Biopilixin. That's plant-powered, drug-free formula that's also clinically tested, which is rare. The plant growth factors in Biopilixin help to extend the hair's growth phase, which is key to keeping your locks. It also helps increase blood flow to your scalp and help extend the follicles for thicker, more resilient strands. Scandinavian Bio Labs recommends starting with their 3-step hair activation routine. This includes a hair strengthening shampoo, a hair recovery conditioner, and an activation serum. You just shampoo and condition as usual and then massage the serum into your scalp. Let the warming sensation do its thing and then style as usual. No greasiness, no flaking, no weird smells. Scandinavian Bio Labs actually makes your hair look great and feel great while it's working. If you have short hair or don't use conditioner, just go with the 2-step process. You're still going to get the active ingredients. What's the proof? In a clinical trial, Biopilixin showed early results in about 45 days. 77% of users had a reduction in shedding at the 6-week mark. By 150 days, that went up to 93%, plus 73% had a measurable increase in hair density. With 0 drugs, you're not rolling the dice with your hormones when you use Biopilixin. Scandinavian Bio Labs also takes the risk out of the investment. Their products are backed by a 150-day money-back guarantee. If you don't see results in 5 months, get a full refund. Start today with 20% off the hair activation routine and any other products from the Scandinavian Bio Labs using code MAXEMERSON. Go to ScandinavianBioLabs.com. If you're like me, you want to fuel your body with the best possible ingredients, whether you're working out, staying active, or just looking to maintain a healthy lifestyle. That's why I'm excited to share with you Puori's whey protein. It's not just any protein powder, it's a game changer. Puori's whey protein is sourced from grass-fed cows, ensuring that you're getting a clean, pure, and high-quality protein. What sets this protein powder apart is its simplicity and commitment to quality. There are no artificial sweeteners, fillers, or unnecessary additives, just pure protein goodness with a delicious natural bourbon vanilla flavor. Plus, it's sweetened with organic coconut sugar, so it tastes amazing without all the junk. Whether you're mixing it into your morning smoothies or shaking it up post-workout, Puori protein powder delivers 21 grams of protein per serving, helping to support muscle recovery, energy levels, and overall wellness. And for those of us who care about where our food comes from, it's great to know that Puori's whey is certified by the Clean Label Project, ensuring it's free from harmful contaminants like heavy metals and pesticides. Ready to elevate your protein game? Head over to Puori.com and use my promo code MAXEMERSON. That's Puori.com/MaxEmerson. Don't mess out. Head to Puori.com/MaxEmerson and use promo code MaxEmerson today. I want to talk about YouTube. What inspired you to start your YouTube journey in 2007? And how has your style progressed since then?
So much. It's changed dramatically. I mean, I was 15 when I started. I'm 33 now. So more than half my life I've been making YouTube videos. So starting as like a little teenager who like this was the beginning of YouTube. So there was only like a few like creators to look up to and be inspired. So I started with like just like home movie skits with my friend. And
okay.
Now I'm
So it was always skits and comedy. You were not like the oversharing story time.
Not at first.
Okay.
And then I eventually got there when I started daily vlogging in like 2012.
Daily vlogging.
Yeah.
That sounds terrifying. I
know. I daily vlogged for 5 years.
Whoa.
Every single day. Well, I skipped a couple, but
what was the structure?
What do you mean? Just like vlogs?
Yeah, like how would you structure your daily vlog? Is just like what you're up to that day?
Yeah, pretty much. I would throw in like music videos and like random like Q&As and stuff to like switch it up. But yeah.
Wow. You just never run out. You're an endless fountain. How do you come up with the ideas for the different channels? And what motivates you to kind of explore the different types of content that you do? Because you're really good at doing different types of content in a world where I feel like people are often getting kind of pigeonholed by
like
algorithms. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I unfortunately am not blessed with like a niche style, which I think is helpful for a lot of people. So it could be a blessing and a curse. I'm just like all over the place. I like to try a little bit of everything. So
you're niche deficient?
Yes. Okay. Very niche deficient.
What has been your favorite project or video so far?
Oh, probably Escape the Night, which was my show I did 4 seasons of with YouTube Premium. And it's kind of like a escape room-esque reality show with a bunch of YouTubers.
As someone who is also niche deficient, that's the term we're coining for this.
Yeah.
How do you balance your time? How do you structure your schedule?
I don't know. I'm such like a terrible, like organized person. So I'm just like a go with the flow type person. And
you are organized or you're not organized?
I'm not.
Oh.
And I'm a Virgo rising, so you'd think like I'd have a little bit more structure and like organization.
Maybe it's in the back.
Yeah, it's real tucked in the back there. Yeah.
Okay, so you got like the what's it called when the background?
Yeah, it's in the mullet right now.
That's why you keeps it warm.
Yeah, exactly.
What has been one of the biggest challenges in your career, and how did you overcome it?
I honestly think being a YouTuber content creator, it's like the constant evolution of trying to reevaluate what you're posting, the types of content you're making. You just constantly have to adjust and change and evolve, and that's exhausting.
Has there ever been a moment where you're like, this is the hardest thing I've ever done?
Yeah, I mean, I think because in a world where like views represent your success, it's easy to be caught up in like what success is for you as a person. And it can be a little defeating at times when something doesn't work out the way you want. And it can, I don't know, mentally affect you in a bad way.
Right. It's kind of the similar as like doing something for the money of it, doing something just for the analytics is never going to render something that you're actually all that proud of. Right?
Yeah, sure.
That's something that I've had to come to as well. As long as the thing driving me to do it is worthwhile, like the money and the views and stuff will follow. It needs to like, what is the story I'm trying to tell and why is it important to me? It's kind of been like, Mikey, it sounds like that's like a similar sort of.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I need to grow my mullet out more. I'm very disorganized. As a YouTube pioneer, what advice do you give? Thank you.
Thank you.
What advice do you give to the baby gays out there who want to start YouTube channels and be social media full-timers?
Oh, that's tough. I feel like
it's changed so much since
I mean, starting on YouTube probably isn't the way to go. I would say it has to be TikTok or Instagram these days, just because the YouTube algorithm doesn't really favor like someone starting out with like no audience.
Yeah.
Whereas TikTok, anyone can go viral. So it's like, might as well start there and just post content and then develop the audience to take to
and
YouTube.
Then feed that over.
Yeah.
Okay. So start on TikTok. Mm-hmm. Any other advice?
I mean, do
any
content
tricks to keeping it consistent or preventing burnout or no?
No, still learning.
Just figure it out. Yeah.
Don't even know myself.
Just feel it out. Well, we're going to move on to personal insights.
Okay.
What has been the most challenging aspect of being, for lack of a better term, a public figure? Because we know the fun parts. Has it made dating hard?
No, actually, no, it hasn't. No. Surprisingly.
I found when I was single, people got really weird.
How so?
Just very fake. Like I realized I wasn't meeting the actual person. I was meeting like this thing that they were putting up for the boy with the imaginary number on the social media page. Like it's not real, but it just caused people to be very clingy.
Okay.
And just like very inauthentic around me.
Interesting.
Presentational.
Okay. I feel like with me, I mostly go for like older guys anyways, so I don't think they're necessarily know who I am. Yeah, which I like. So I've definitely been on dates where the guy's like, okay, I have to tell you, like, I know who you are. But it hasn't been a situation where I'm like feeling like they have ulterior motives.
You're not like in bed and they're like, say the line, Bart.
Say the line. Oh. No.
Brandon Rogers has. No.
Oh, God.
How has being an openly gay creator influenced your content? You were gay from day one, right?
No, I was not.
No.
But honestly, like starting when I was like a teenager, that was like one of the first comments was like, he's gay. And I, at that point, wasn't out and I didn't know that about myself. So I was like very offended at the time, like being a 15-year-old and being called gay in a negative connotation in like 2008.
It was explicitly negative?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, in 2008, like that was like...
It's pejorative, yeah.
Yeah. So...
Also in Florida today. It's coming back. It's coming back. They've also brought back the R word. I don't know why they're doing that. Anyways.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You haven't seen that? It's happening in California too. I've got like a neighbor that says it all the time.
I feel like there's definitely a generation of older people that definitely still use that.
They think it's funny. Bless. So what have been your inspirations when it comes to creativity? Did you model after anyone else in particular, or were you just completely freestyling it at this point?
Like at any point or just like now?
As you've your whole journey, like from starting out to...
Well, it's interesting because there was no roadmap ahead of me of like what a content creator was. So at the time I was like, oh, I want to like eventually become like an actor or get into Hollywood. And then as content creating became like this huge industry and being like one of the first to do it, all I had was my peers. So it's like I could only look to each other, and like when someone else was doing something successful, it was like, oh, I want to do that too. And then it just gives you that motivation to be like, well, if they just did it, why can't I?
Well, especially with the scripted stuff, were there any particular people that you found were kind of formative to creating your own style?
Yeah, there was like YouTubers like this is an old one, but like Black Box TV, they had all these like horror short films that I was just like obsessed with watching. And I was like, oh my God, like I want to just like make some scripted moments as well.
I want to make a horror movie.
You do?
I want to make a horror movie so bad.
Oh my God, what would it be? Who's the killer?
I don't know yet. There's so many ideas. It's usually like when I go on vacation and it's somewhere super beautiful.
You're like, how could this be?
And then the sun starts to set and you see like the sinister side of like the boonies in the Philippines or something. You're like, oh, I know how this could go south.
Okay.
I know how I could die today. This would be a good one. Like it's usually like in those moments, like, this is it.
No, I'm kind of the same way whenever I'm in like a new place or something, or like at a hotel. I'm like, all right, what's my escape route when the killer comes?
Yeah, and it's either like the Get Out style feel good slasher where it's like bigots getting murdered at the end, or what's it called? Bodies, 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 like a horror comedy with a bunch of idiots just like accidentally getting themselves killed in the dumbest ways possible.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Like we went to like a 3-day festival party. It was the first of Jake Resnickow's Utopia parties. They do it in Isla Mujeres in Mexico now, and it's supposed to be completely amazing. It's like all the Burning Man people come and they create this really nice thing. But we went to the very first one, which was at, I believe it was a Jewish weight loss camp in the summer.
Okay.
Like, there's like bunks and dorms and things. It was really strange. They hadn't worked out the food or any of these things, so everyone was kind of starving. And it was
at a
like
weight loss camp?
Yeah, but it was also like October. So it was freezing.
Okay.
And you know how just like camps are just so anachronous outside of summer. Like it's just something really spooky about that. So I was feeling like a Jason Voorhees
cool.
meets like Burning Man gays trying to like have a fun time in this like sad abandoned campsite.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I totally see that
like
location.
Really trying to force a good time no matter what. And like even though their friends are dying, we're still gonna have fun. Like I think it'll work.
Fun.
Yeah. Let's pitch it. Stuff Every Queer Kid Should Know is brought to you by Max Emerson's Patreon. Do you ever feel like daily Instagram updates from your favorite influencers just aren't enough? Are you curious what the VIP section of social media is like? Well, buckle up, because Max Emerson's Patreon page is here to rescue you from the mundane. Get ready for exclusive access to Max's wild adventures, behind-the-scenes shenanigans, and a smorgasbord of engaging content that you won't find anywhere else. From sneak peeks to surprise gifts to mentions in the credits of videos and podcasts, Max's Patreon is the ultimate way to support independent queer storytelling. So what are you waiting for? Join today and let's make the internet a little more colorful, one Patreon pledge at a time. Patreon.com/Maxisms. I want to talk about your book in real life.
Okay, sure.
What made you decide to write a memoir?
The memoir, that was my first book, and it was originally going to be like how I was going to come out. I was like, I don't know if anyone's ever done this before, so I was like, let me like explain my...
Splashy, I love it.
Yeah, and literally the chapter was, I think chapter 14, the chapter was literally one line. It was, yes, I'm gay. And then it was like, next chapter. But I didn't end up, I came out in a music video on the release day of the book. So it was, I came out.
Okay, so you like properly planned your coming out.
Yeah.
And coordinated it. I mean, how long did it take you to write this book?
Like a year.
A year. Did you follow a particular schedule or anything? Because I have a lot of people asking me how they can finish a novel in like What tips you
Well,
can
I had a
give?
co-writer, which was so helpful, and it was almost like therapy because I basically just like explained my whole life, and they just like gave words to me explaining different scenes of my life, and we started out with an outline of like the key moments of my life that I wanted to hit, and then it was like therapy.
So they
just
helped you come
talking.
out.
Yeah,
They wrote you a novel, or they helped write you a memoir that
Yep.
like became a vehicle of revenue, and they gave you like this beautiful emotional language to describe what you're going through. That really
Yeah.
is therapy.
totally.
It's like a therapist that pays you.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yes. Well, it's already been done, so you can't do it anymore. So
Yeah, you can't copy. I'm so sorry. That's not how art works. You're not allowed to do anything that's ever been done before. That's why if it's been on The Simpsons, it's off limits. Because they've done everything at this point. You can't. It's already been played out.
Yeah, and they predict everything.
How did you end up doing Children of Eden?
That, I mean, I'm like, I have like crazy imagination and a bunch of stories living in my head. So it was kind of similar in a sense where it was like, all right, so I did the memoir. Now let's do a bigger project of a story that I have that I want to make. And I've done like short films and music videos and stuff. But this, writing a book when you don't have like a budget to adhere to and you can go as crazy and as big as you want.
Right.
Just allowed my imagination to just flow and create this dystopian YA novel, which was so fun. And I wrote 3 books. It was like a trilogy.
Did you co-write these as well? Or
Yeah.
was this...
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of if you can find someone that you can co-write with, that's worth its weight in gold.
Oh, for sure.
As long as like no one's too sensitive or precious about their ideas and can be flexible with it.
No, it's very much like finding someone who can take your vision and put it to paper. Especially, I grew up in special ed classes, so I felt very limited growing up with my potential of like learning and being able to spell correctly and to write. So
Was it dyslexia or something?
I
We don't even know. They just stuck you there.
honestly, I'm not sure. I had lead paint poisoning as a kid, so like I was just chomping on paint chips and
It would be so delicious.
I know, right? I'm kind of like missing the taste, but
Well, it ended up being your superpower.
it did, honestly.
You know, I think that the gifted special ed normal classes, whatever you want to call them, thing is it's kind of arbitrary. Like there's been a whole debunking done on IQ tests and how they're kind of racist and classist because of the way that they're designed
Totally.
and the ages in which they give them. But I was one of the gifted kids who was always told that they're smarter than everybody. So I never really worked
so
that hard.
we were the opposites.
Yeah, so like it
That's so
kind
funny.
of, but like I remember hearing early on in this that there was a study that was done where they took like 100 kids or 300 kids and they completely randomly divided them into those 3 groups.
Okay.
And they told them, you're the learning disabled, you're the gifted kids, you're
Okay.
the normal ones.
Yeah.
Every single kid performed exactly as they were told.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They just need the support and encouragement and to be told that they're good enough.
Exactly. That's all I wanted. Like I didn't like feeling lesser than my peers because like you're separating me from my peers and like basically saying you're dumb. Like go to this other classroom. And so it definitely put limitations on me as a kid.
Well, you're teaching the kid that.
Yeah. So luckily I was like strong enough to like not believe that later on, like in high school. And I like fought to get out of it to prove myself. And I don't know. I think that allowed me.
Turns out you were just gay and they put you in special ed for being gay.
That's what it was. Yes.
Too bad for you. I'm stubborn.
Taurus, stubborn, makes sense.
Taurus plus Virgo. Are you all Earth?
I have water, a lot of Cancer in my chart.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you?
That's the crab, right?
Yeah.
In California, you have to say all 3 of your signs. So Virgo sun,
Yes.
Leo moon, Sagittarius rising.
Okay.
I have 0 water anywhere. Yeah.
Dang.
My lips get chapped really easily. And I have to like take like a cheese grater to my calluses. I shouldn't share this in a public forum.
God.
Let's talk about mental health.
Okay.
What drew you to mental health advocacy? And what messages do you hope to convey to your audience with everything that you're doing?
It was so interesting because when I never talked about anything growing up. I had an alcoholic mother who was pretty mentally abusive all throughout like my childhood and through high school. And so I didn't ever tell anyone that. And eventually, like when I was doing daily vlogs, I randomly one day was like, I just want to like talk about this. And I opened up about having an alcoholic parent, and just the flood of comments that I got that were just, they could relate, and I suddenly didn't feel alone. I was like, oh, this is amazing that I can connect with all these people who've also gone through this. I'm actually not alone in this. And that kind of just opened this floodgate of like, all right, well, what else? What other trauma can I share with the internet?
Let's pick some scabs.
Yeah.
Pop some pimples. How do you take care of yourself with all of this stuff going on? And it just gets so overwhelming. Like, what are some of the things that you do to kind of take care of yourself when you have the time?
I mean, I've definitely learned talking through stuff that's going on in my life is what works best for me. I know a lot of people journal, and that works for them. I like talking to my friends. I like talking to a therapist, but I feel like I mostly gravitate towards like talking to my sister or my friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
So generally conversation, friend therapy.
Yes.
Do you ever find that there's a line between like working something out with a friend and then having a friend that just kind of like trauma dumps the same shit on you every time and then doesn't make any changes?
Yeah.
I have a couple of friends that I've had to like boundary with.
Yeah. I don't really have many of those in my life anymore.
Okay, so you sort of just...
They kind of just like phase out. I'm like, I wish you the best of luck, but it's just a negative energy space. And if you're not going to learn from it, I can't help you. And
well, I guess if you're telling the same story and over, you're going to need someone new to get that fresh reaction every time.
Yeah.
That's fair. We all get stuck there sometimes, though. I've definitely been someone who's had to like relearn a few lessons over and over again.
Oh.
Isn't that how that works, though? Like, if you don't learn the lesson the first time, you're going to do it again. Like,
no, that's
whether
very
it's
true.
with like dating or career or whatever else, like you're going to learn it eventually.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah.
I want to go back to coming out. When you were semi-outed by someone accusing you of being gay as a pejorative, and you clutched your pearls.
Yes. Who, me?
Yeah,
Who, me?
You really had no idea about yourself.
I definitely kind of like had a sense. It wasn't, I was so like in denial phase. Like
Okay.
I think the first part of coming out is coming out to yourself, which didn't happen for me until I was 19. I remember taking like quizzes, like, are you gay quiz?
I'm going to pass this one.
And then it would be like, you're gay. I was like, I got to take it again. And then like, if it said I was bi, I was like, oh, okay, I can live with that. But definitely not the gay
You were
one.
cheating on magazine quizzes to be bi?
Yes. And I could like tell based off of like what the questions were. I was kind of like, oh, I can cheat this one. I can tell like I need to like give them a little bit to work with.
It's worded in a way that I can say I do this.
Yeah.
Was there a moment where you were just like fully accepting, and then kind of when that happened, what changed for you?
I went to a dinner. It was like my friend's rap party, and there was a guy who got sat right across from me. And he was this like maybe like 5 years older than me. And he was a producer on the project. And he was just talking to me the whole night, and then got my number at the end, and then texted me and asked me on a date. It was just like, do you want to go get lunch? And like after that, I was like feeling all the feels, and I was like, wait, I want more of this.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, okay, I gotta come out.
Did you have a bi phase? Like, were you
Yes.
dating girls? And
No, yes. I like in high school, I had girlfriends that like we'd hold hands and stuff. There was one girl, Allie, who was my first girlfriend, and she was like, she stopped me in the cafeteria like our second day of dating, and she's like, I want to make out with you, and I was like, I don't want to make out with you. Like, how do I get out of this?
That face.
And then someone told her that I was gay, and she broke up with me the next day, and
Okay.
they were right, of course, but it still hurt.
Yeah, that's not their business. Well, I mean, it's kind of her business.
Right.
But that's interesting. Mine was similar. I went a little further with the girls. I was Florida man. Like, I had something to prove.
Okay.
Kind of like how you had like the press release for your book that was like your splashy. I wanted mine to be like a spit take when people heard that I'd hooked up with a guy. So I was kind of a fuckboy with girls. And I wasn't...
What?
I never lied or anything.
Okay.
I always said I wasn't looking for a relationship, but it never affected me emotionally the same way it did them. So I thought I was bi. And then I caught feelings for a guy, and I realized like, he totally played me. And I realized like, oh, that's what I've been doing to girls. I can't do that. Okay, fine.
Okay, yeah.
So it was like the first time I actually caught feelings for a guy. I'm like, okay, I'm going to stop playing with other people because that's not,
Right.
that doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that like that's what that felt like.
Well,
So I'm not technically a sociopath because I just didn't know.
Yeah. We'll go with that.
How did you navigate kind of the internal conflicts of all of that? Was it after this date with the producer and you were
that kind of started, and then I think moving to California and like being surrounded by a new group of friends who didn't really know my past. I sometimes feel like when you're around people who know you as a certain way, it reinforces that image on yourself.
Yeah.
So being in front of new people who don't have that same image that you've built your whole life, it allowed me to have a fresh start in a way. And they were also so accepting of other gay people. So I knew I was in good hands when I came out, that these people would love me and support me the same way. It was almost like I was scared of feeling like I had been lying to people. I think that's what like held me back.
Yeah, that's huge. I totally agree with that because I think that it's just such an inauthentic thing to be in the closet while figuring out who you are going to be as an adult, as an adolescent.
Yeah.
So there's just like so much like icky stuff and details and memories and things that don't make sense or fit. And it's nice to just be like, okay, starting over. I'm just going to be me now. Here we go. Because I think I feel like closeted gay men in particular tend to make the best villains. Because it really is like narcissist personality disorder incarnate. You are fully hating yourself and you're pretending to be something else.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty much the description of a narcissist. It's not someone who loves themselves. So it's nice to just like, okay, I don't need to do that. I don't need to have this identity now. I can start fresh and build like meaningful, lasting relationships and let people see the real me. And there's definitely a lot of unlearning, I think, that happens from when you're in the closet for sure.
Definitely.
Has that happened with you with vlogging? Where do you fall on your journey of deciding what to share with the internet versus what to keep personal, or is it just all out there?
I've definitely honed it back in the past, like maybe 5 years. But before that, I was sharing like every aspect of my life. And now I'm just like, I keep things a little bit more close, which I want to get more open again. I think I was just burned when there was like a couple things, like feeling like fans had like access to
Too
me,
much access,
where like they were showing up in my house, and that was like scary. And then when I posted my breakup video, and then it got like viral on Twitter and like went to a different audience, and people were being very critical of the fact that I was posting about a breakup that had been publicly documented over the past 5 years. And people are like, why are you sharing this? Like, we don't care. It's like, well, this wasn't for you.
It's for closure, thanks.
Right. Yeah. It was to kind of like end a chapter publicly because we had displayed the beginning and the whole process of being together. And that like...
It's called storytelling. Look it up.
Exactly. And I think it really affected me in a way where it was like, if people are going to be so mean when I'm being open and vulnerable at that stage of my life, like I'm going to close up and not share those intimate moments anymore.
Yeah. But I mean, there's so many ways to share truth. It doesn't have to be daily vlogging. It can be something that you've written and put like the truth of your story in there. That's really wild though. We had a pair of influencer friends that had done they were breaking up, but they had done a photo shoot kind of trying to still make it work, or they'd already booked the shoot or something. And they're like, it was trying a little too hard to be sexy. Like they're wearing harnesses and stuff, but they're just like clearly not happy in it. And when they broke up, they used those pictures as the breakup announcement. So it just looks like they did a sad, sexy breakup photo shoot.
That's funny.
It was one of my favorite weird social media things. And I feel like we're all guilty of some level of cringe in that capacity. That's just like, that's why the delete button exists.
Right.
But I'm so cursing myself by making fun of anyone else for being cringe. Like I'm going to have everything surface now. I want to move forward with you because these dog treats are looking delicious.
Yeah, you want one?
Kind of. Are they fit for human consumption?
Of course.
I guess they have to be, right?
Yeah, no, they
because if a dog can eat it, a human can eat it.
Yeah.
Isn't that like school food? Is like the same grade of meat as like the produce, like bagged dog food stuff? Yeah. Why? What do you think a chicken nugget is?
Chicken.
Sure, but what part of the chicken?
The nugget. The nugget part.
Before we move on to dog food, though, okay. We're going to do the closure thing. If you could collaborate with any creator, celebrity, other than Sarge, Andres, or myself, who would it be and why?
Oh. You know what? I think I want this person just because I miss her, and it's just Jenna Marbles, just because I just miss her on the internet. So
where is she?
She is just living her life. She quit the internet, I think, 4 years ago now, and I think the internet misses her, and I
kind of miss her.
Back. Yeah,
she was pretty formative.
Yeah.
What do you think? She just burnt out and got tired of it?
There's like a couple things behind, but I know before she like officially left because of like the controversy stuff, like she was kind of done. Like she
was over it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Jenna Marbles, if you ever see this, we miss you.
Yes.
How do you want to be remembered?
I think for my storytelling, I have like so many stories I want to still share, and I would love for my stories to become movies and TV shows and just live on, and more books to come.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So let's talk about dog food. These are just treats, right? It's not actual food.
So they're supplement chews. So I have 2 of them that are out. That's the calming one, which I rescue a lot of pregnant dogs and just dogs in general. And when I get them, they come from usually pretty messed up backgrounds. So one, their like fur is crazy. They're malnourished. They're just like not in great shape. And they're also anxious. Like they don't like being around humans. They're scared of them. So the calming is to help anxiety and to just calm your dog over time. And all great ingredients. And
what's tranking them? What's the calming added?
There's valerian root and melatonin in the calming.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, now I can't sample them because I have like one more podcast to shoot after this.
But you can try the skin and coat, which is great for luscious hair for your dog.
I'm down for that.
Which totally, like, after testing so many things, like this one, it's crazy. In like 2 days, your dog is going to have the softest fur ever, and you're just going to constantly be petting them. Like, I can't get enough of just petting my dogs, and they love it.
So it's the gift that keeps on giving.
It truly is.
Gives back.
Yeah.
So it's a selfish thing to give your dog these because it makes them cuter, cuddlier, and better for
pretty much
the reason you bought them in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. As with every show, we like to end on a low note, a fight. Joey has selected a topic from a list of controversial topics. He has selected the side on the topic he wants to argue and whether or not he wants to go first. Do you remember what
Yes.
you've picked? Do you want to go first or second?
I guess I'll go second. Or what do you want me to do? What would you prefer?
This is your moment.
This is your moment. Have it.
Jojo Siwa, wonderful manic pixie or sleep paralysis demon. Fight me. Okay, so you've selected manic wonderful pixie. So that means I'm arguing that Jojo Siwa is a sleep paralysis demon. Anyone who's ever seen a picture of Jojo Siwa in the last year and a half knows that that is exactly what a sleep paralysis demon looks like. Do you know what a sleep paralysis demon is?
Yeah, I have one.
Is it her?
No.
Is it male?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is my time. I'm going to finish my argument. Okay. And I'm not saying this is Jojo's fault. I'm sure she's absolutely wonderful in person. But she's doing the thing that the industry does to people, like the young child stars when they get their first zit. It's like, oh, we got to go to sexy. You're like, okay, great. But like, she wasn't ready. She wasn't ready for sexy. So now she's just gone like full chaos mode, and they're just like throwing shit at a wall. And they're like, oh, do the thing that Gaga did when she was being, okay, do the thing that Katy Perry did. And it's just this like mashed up, garbled static of simulation that just is like not working. And it is working because it's getting her the attention.
Yes.
But it's causing the side effect of she's showing up on the side of people's beds when they're trying to sleep and can't move.
Not
and
the
just
side effect.
staring there in her like bad kiss makeup. And she's just like, hey, let's do shots. And you like can't move. You're stuck. That's what happened. This is the industry's fault. This is not your fault, Jojo. Fight me.
Wow. Okay.
I have feelings.
I feel like with your points, you were kind of like helping my point a little bit because she's very smart. She is a businesswoman. She knows exactly what she's doing to get the views, the attention. And I don't think that equates to being a sleep paralysis demon. I think she is a businesswoman. She knows how to run a business, how to get attention. Like, who else is doing what she's doing? No one. It's different. It's unique. And she's standing out. And I don't see that as a negative thing. And also the internet's just so mean to her. Like I think people need to give her some grace, and I love her. And I think she's amazing.
Well, I guess we're going to have to agree to disagree. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Buy his books. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Stuff Every Queer Kid Should Know. This is a Wellness Loud production produced by Drake Peterson, Cass Falding, Chantilly Twazan, and Jake Wachtel. If you like this show, don't forget to share it with your friends, subscribe on your preferred channel, and give us a 5-star rating. Also, I would like to give a massive thank you to all of my Patreon subscribers. If you're in the credits tier, you will see your name listed in the show notes.